to the Rotary Club of Oakland. We are the third oldest Rotary Club in the world. Did you know that there were 32,000 Rotary Clubs in 200 countries? And we are the third. Welcome. Shh. So good to see everybody gathering in downtown Oakland. All right. We'd like to welcome our guests. Does anybody have a guest they'd like to introduce today? Keith, guests. Got a mic to Keith?
Sure.
There we go.
Keith Oriarty, mostly retired. My guest is back for his second visit, Moira Robinson, who is a real estate agent with Compass Realty.
Welcome. Welcome. Any other guests today? Other than many. Oh, here we go. Rosemary Darden's in the house.
Yes, I want to introduce Rashida.
We cannot hear.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay.
Thanks.
I want to introduce Rashida Chase, who's here with me today. Rashida is a Cal Bear.
Go Bears!
Go Bears. And she works for the city of Oakland and has 2 kids. So I'm hoping that she will be with us for a long time.
Very nice. Welcome, welcome to the club. Awesome. All right, any other guests? All right, we have one visiting Rotarian. Adrian is here from the San Leandro Rotary Club. Welcome, Adrian. Great. And now I would like to have Eric come up and give us the thought for the day, sir. Eric Harris.
Good afternoon. In addition to being a day of protest, in ancient times, May Day was a pagan holiday that celebrated the coming of spring, and people danced around maypoles. It also is honored as the National Day of Prayer. Additionally, it is highly regarded as International Workers' Day. Legendary labor leader Cesar Chavez said, I'm quoting, "We cannot seek achievement for ourselves and forget about progress and prosperity for the community. But, si se puede, yes, it can be done." Thank you.
That was fantastic, Eric. I might have to ask you to do that again. That was wonderful. Thank you. I'd like to say hello to our friends on Zoom. Hello, Linda, and Rick, and Greg, and Mark Rosen's in the house without his neck brace on. I know. Carrie Hamill, Will Hobbs, nice to see you. Do I have more than 6? I can't see more than 6. Anyway, anybody else on hybrid, we want to welcome you. Thank you, and we really, really can feel you. So oh, you're good, you can see them up there. Oh, hello, Pam Clausen. Can't always read these things. Anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so Casey Farmer has an announcement for a read-in. Where's Casey? Right here. We have another great volunteer opportunity. We've done this before, and we need your help. Casey.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. I'll be here a few times. My first announcement is that if you would like to volunteer at Prescott Elementary School, they are having a carnival celebration, not reading, but promoting lots of play and fun. They need setup starting at 10 o'clock. They'll be there from 11 to 4 for carnival, but this is a elementary school in West Oakland with a lot of history, and they need some fun. And so if you want to watch the jumper, the bounce house, if you want to serve food, if you want to help just set up before the event, we really need more hands. That's Saturday May 17th from 10 to 4, and please contact me. I'll be around the whole meeting today. Thank you.
Awesome. That sounds fun. Okay, great. And now I'd like to ask David Stein for a little remembering of what we did last week and some announcements, please.
President Shannon, fellow Rotarians and guests, on behalf of the Speakers Committee, 3 announcements. First, we had the brown bag last week. 88 people participated. Thank you. If you were one of the hosts, would you stand up to be recognized? I know we have several of the hosts in the room. Kim was one here. Thank you all. It was great. Great event. Second, our offsite this month is the 22nd. On your table is a sheet like this. It's a tour of the Alameda County Jail. In order to go, you have to fill out a sheet in advance. That sheet is behind this tab on your table. So if you want to go on the 22nd, please fill that out. It'll also be available online. Third, just a quick reminder, our meeting on May 15th will not be here. It will be at the Oakland campus, formerly Holy Names. Finally, the Speakers Committee will meet next Wednesday to start to look into Joe's year. If you're interested, see me during the meeting and I'll make sure you're on the list. Thank you.
You talk so fast, David. Wait a minute. Why are we going to the jail?
15.
But why? Because there are amazing things that they're trying to do to help rehabilitate, and there are programs that we want to be exposed to, and so we want to know how we can help. So that's why we're going. So at this time, we'd like to actually get beyond the handshake. One of our programs with our DEI committee is to actually have some fellowship time. This club really likes to talk to the point of like, I can't even herd you back. So we're going to give you a few minutes to talk with a prompt, and I'm going to let Kimberly and Linda describe what we're going to do. But I need you to finish when we finish, because we have a very full program welcoming a lot of new members. So here we go.
We still have 6 minutes? Okay, Peter, we're ready for slide number 1. Hey everybody, how are you? Good afternoon, Rotarians! Woo! All right. I'm Linda Hamilton.
And I'm Kimberly Miller.
Today, your Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, DEI, offers our fellowship moment, designed to deepen our connections and understanding of each other as Rotarians and fellow humans.
It is an effort to get beyond that handshake and invite us to learn more about one another.
Okay. All right, we're going to ask you to please pair up with another person at your table whom you don't already know well, and you're going to take turns asking each other the following. Okay, next slide, please, Peter.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Great. Okay, your question today to explore with your table mate. How do you put the 4-way test to use in your everyday life or work? As a reminder, the 4-way test is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? So how do you use this test in everyday life? Please, you have 4 minutes, 2 per person. Thank you.
Good job. Okay, I'm going to put on the timer. Hurry up, losing time. Okay, great.
I like walking in at the right moment.
Oh my God. I was like, okay, I gotta go. And I had 2 of these, but I gave one to Peter.
How are you?
I'm pretty, I like this. Thank you. What does the 4-way test mean to you?
I mean, in work, I'm always looking at, in work, I'm always, a big value at Fairyland for me and our culture is transparency and honesty. So, I tell the truth. And it's like not normal at work, like to talk about that. So I'm always trying in every situation to impress people, like, no matter what kind of person you are, just talk about whether it's conflict or joy or desire, be honest with it. And these few or as many as possible, but like, yeah, so I use it every day. please make sure you're both sharing. 2 minutes left. Just one person, because you only have 30 seconds, but does somebody want to, let's bring it on down. We love each other so much, but we're going to stop those conversations. And let's get a microphone. Does anybody wants to share? And if you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. Thank you, Rotarians. Is there one share out of a thing you learned new today about your partner? Allison. We need a mic. Anybody? She's got a mic. Oh, she's got it. Nobody wants to share at a Rotary meeting? Oh my gosh. Well, we both had a wonderful conversation up here about it, the importance of transparency and truth, and living with integrity, and everything you do with integrity, and it being beneficial to all, and also how the inventor of the four-way test even said it's an ideal that we shoot for. So give yourself grace as you're trying to live the four-way test. All right. Thank you so much for participating all, talking about DEI concepts and our personal experiences with them. Can bring up some tough topics. One of our goals is to help all of us learn to feel comfortable in our differences and in those uncomfortable topics. The key is starting the conversation. Oh, where am I? As a reminder, we celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion as a part of Rotary International's commitment to it. Rotary believes that DEI should be embedded in everything that we do. It is essential for our understanding for one another and is in alignment with our four-way test. In this effort, stay tuned, Rotarians, at a meeting yet to come. Next slide, please. To come to our DEI committee, looks forward to sharing with you in more depth the district's presentation on DEI most recently. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you, everybody.
I'm just sorry that felt rushed because it's so important. Thank you. And it is very interesting. The four-way test, we don't talk enough about it, and it is about conversation, and it is about integrity, and it is about being a Rotarian. So I invite us to talk about it. I want a quick happy birthday, Stephanie Costanza! I'm not going to make you wear this hat, but I just want to channel Tom and say we do have a silly birthday hat, but I'm not going to do that because she's just... Oh, and Ruth Stroop has a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Ruth. And your birthday's on Sunday. All right, well, here we go. We've got lots of birthdays to share. Okay, thank you. And so now, back to filling the room full of great people. Is that Jillian? Is that Jillian? Oh my gosh! Welcome. Wonderful, so great to have you. All right, part of the Rotary experience that we get to do, that we're honored to do, doing community service around the world and in Oakland and with each other, is sharing that gift with others. And we have 3 new Rotarians to welcome today. So with that, we have a very special pair. I'm going to start with Casey Farmer, who's going to come up with her new member. And I'm going to abbreviate the goodie bags, so you all 3 will get a gift, and we'll do that at the end, so we'll keep this clipping. But anyway, welcome Casey Farmer.
Good afternoon. So what can I say? She's my mom. I've known her my whole life. So she's had an outstanding career kind of in 2 phases. Many of you heard her story when she came and spoke at Rotary, I think about 1.5 years ago, on the topic of her time as a women's sports writer, having to break down many barriers, tons of sexism, and actually had to sue the NFL twice in order to get access to the locker room. That was her early career and really showed me as a young woman the importance of inclusion and being a feminist, and so much I learned from that experience. The second phase of her career was in PR for Disneyland. So if anyone's interested in Disneyland, she knows all the facts, all of the things. And one fun fact about her is how active she has been throughout her whole life. She was a hula hoop champion in Southern California during her childhood. And in college, she played basketball at Riverside Community College and then rode crew at USC. Today, she's active as a hiker, a pickleballer, and chasing my children, her grandchildren, around any park and playground. And I am thrilled that she has moved up here to live across the street from me and my family. And when she asked where should I find my community in Oakland, I said, you've got to start with Oakland Rotary 3.
Welcome, Michelle. Oh, we need some photography. Where's my camera? My camera partner's here. And I also, my mom was a member of this club as well, and so I had a mother-daughter act going, and it was really special to share so many of these experiences with Mom. Yay, okay. Thank you. So next we have Allison to come up and introduce our next new member, Allison Lindquist.
Good afternoon. My name's Allison Lindquist, and it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Diane Medevsky. She is a financial advisor at Merrill Lynch and has worked out of the downtown Oakland office for 4 years. Diana was born in Bulgaria and came to the U.S. as a child with her family. They initially settled in Fresno before moving to the Bay Area, where she's lived for 20 years. Diana is bilingual and also speaks Spanish and some Russian. One of the most impactful and therapeutic forces in her life has been music. She taught herself how to play piano when she was a little girl, and when at Cal, she taught herself how to produce electronic music, which is extremely popular in Europe. And last but not least, also when she was a student at Cal, she taught some classes on comic book superheroes. She is a major comic book fan and collector. Her most prized, rare comic book is X-Men issue #1. She has attended many comic book conventions, and if you go there, you will see her there. Welcome.
Thank you. Awesome. All right, wonderful. And we have another new member, Karen Friedman is going to introduce, who was also a host of our brown bag experience. So it's, talk about getting involved, she hosted before she was inducted. So please welcome Karen Friedman.
Good afternoon. I'm thrilled to introduce Kim Olson as our newest member of our club. I met Kim at SOS Meals on Wheels, which is the largest Meals on Wheels provider in Alameda County, where she serves as Director of Advocacy and Volunteer Coordinator. Kim is a relatively new resident of the East Bay, having lived in the Pacific Northwest for most of her life. Before working for SOS Meals on Wheels, she spent 3 years at the Oregon Food Bank during the pandemic. Her dedication and commitment to community service are inspiring. Kim is a proud graduate of Emerge Oregon, a Canada training program dedicated to developing leaders to serve their communities. She also graduated from the Chamber of Commerce Leadership Oakland program for current and future leaders. We are excited to have her join us and look forward to her invaluable contributions she will bring to our club. Now, 2 interesting facts about Kim. Along with her wife, she has a goal of running 1 half marathon in every single state. So far, she has 8 states down, and on Sunday, which is also her birthday, she will be running the 9th half marathon in Cincinnati, Ohio. Pretty good, yes. She's run in California, Washington, Texas, Louisiana, Hawaii, South Dakota, Utah, and Florida. Wow. The second interesting fact, well, I have 3 interesting facts. The second is that she got a degree in theater arts, a bachelor's degree, and then later, subsequently, she got a degree in accounting, which I don't really get that, but okay. The third interesting fact is that her dad is a long-term survivor of HIV/AIDS. He got sick when Kim was only 2 years old. She grew up seeing firsthand the stigma of HIV/AIDS and how people and the government treated him, and men like him, in the 1980s and 90s. On the other hand, an amazing community cared for her dad, and he in turn supported others when he was strong enough. That community service and commitment to taking care of neighbors is why she made her career in nonprofits. For that reason, she is really excited to join Rotary. Please join me in welcoming Kim Olson.
Thank you and welcome, welcome. It's wonderful after you have a induction and you get involved for a few months and then you say, I'm ready to give my 3-minute introduction. We have you back up on the podium and you get 3 minutes to have shameless promotion. Speaking of which, 3 minutes is coming up from Casey Farmer. We're going to do a 3-minute introduction.
All right, third and final time. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be up here talking a little bit about my career. I've met so many of you before I became an official Rotary member, and I've had the pleasure of working with you because I've had a number of jobs in public service in my career, and I want to tell you a little bit more about kind of what motivates me in that space. So, service is really the through line of my career. Public service, solving public problems, working in community, and I think that's also what, of course, draws me to Rotary and wanting to be with you all. I often tell people why I joined was this is where Oaklanders, despite their politics or their other interests, put their hearts together for good and come together to connect, and I really thrive in that space. So I attended University of San Francisco. And what drew me there was the social justice mission of the Jesuit University, to get to do social justice in all of our activities and our coursework, but also they had a public service center, so the McCarthy Center for Public Service and the Common Good. I was in their honors program. I served on their board for 7 years, and that allowed me to learn through service, so whether an internship in City Hall or at St. Anthony's Homeless Shelter, I really got to put the practice of what I was learning in sociology and public service into the world and to see that. So after I graduated, I landed here in Oakland. Through Teach for America, I taught high school students with learning disabilities at an Oakland Unified School in East Oakland. And that deeply, deeply rooted me in this town. I saw some of the most challenging things, dire poverty that is truly strangling so many low-income families, but the grit, the beauty of this town, of the creativity, lovely, amazing teachers, and all the nonprofits that support our students. So I ventured out of the classroom, but I went immediately to work for a Rotarian. I worked for Brian Rogers, who was a longtime Oakland member, and he ran the Rogers Family Foundation, so I got to see the value of philanthropy to support those student needs, to support groups like the Oakland Zoo or Children's Hospital. And then I had an itch, because I had studied public service and I was always interested in politics, to go and work on campaigns. So that's probably how I met a lot of you, also at fundraisers or events, or pleading you to vote for some good cause like early education or violence prevention. So I've hopped around. It's like, if you were to follow my career, it looks like it's like a long map, but I think I just keep having the opportunity to follow my heart and go to the next chance to serve, and I feel very privileged to be able to do that. And I don't think I've stayed anywhere for longer than 3 years, which is maybe common for young people, but again, I feel just fortunate that I'm able to jump to what I'm interested in. So I'm telling you a lot about my career. So I'm not going to go into the depths of my resume, but I'm happy to share later. But in terms of where I am now, I am consulting, and I love that because I get to work, I get to solve problems, connect the dots, bring people together to make change. And I'll just give you my 2 clients right now. One is a government agency mired in bureaucracy, our tax collector, who can transfer defaulted lots for the purposes of affordable housing or open space. The other side of my career is working for a startup who does AI for plan review to get construction permits built. So 2 vastly different things, but I'm channeling that good energy towards making change. And sorry, my last thing here about my personal connection is that another thing I love about USF is I met my husband, my college sweetheart, Galen, and together we fulfilled our dream of becoming parents by adopting 2 children. We got 2 calls for infants on the very same day after waiting about 3 years to adopt. So you'll see me running around to all parts of Oakland, Fairyland, and every park with Amaya and Jaden. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, fantastic. Stephanie's in the house. Stephanie has been a member of this club in the past, and she has come back. The one other thing I want to say really quickly before Stephanie goes up is, Casey, you jump around every 3 years or so. Don't jump on her. Stay with us. We'll jump with you. But this group is here for all those chapters. Stephanie, welcome back and welcome up.
Hello, everyone. And yes, my name is Stephanie Bolden, and I am on my second go-around, and I'm really enjoying the second go-around. Mostly because the first go-around was conflicting. I had a teenage son and a new business, so that was really tough to find time to do other things, and I was doing things like doing the Olympics and doing football and doing basketball. So this time around, I don't have all those things. I've got a grandson doing those things, but I don't have to be there, which is very nice. I love being a grandparent. But let me tell you a little something about me. I've been practicing for 30 years. I practiced bankruptcy for a long time. I think I left when Judge Jellin left because I didn't like the court anymore. So I've always done family law, bankruptcy, wills and trusts, because they kind of go together. And so I am now definitely just doing mostly family law. And family law consists, for me, of custody, dissolutions, which are divorces, but I don't do any domestic violence. I can't do those. Those just don't work for me at all. But I love helping people with their kids. That's my favorite part of doing it. And it's also the messiest part, and it's the part that's hardest, because people are putting their whole emotions into this. This isn't like it's not like criminal law where, you did it or you didn't. Can you get me off if I did it? Can you reduce my sentence if I did it? This is not a reduced sentence. We can't divide the children in half. So I really enjoy talking to kids. I'm a people person. I like talking to people. What I don't like doing is talking about me, so this is really interesting to me. I can talk about my son all day long. I can talk about my grandson all day long. I can talk about you guys all day long, but I don't do well talking about myself. So I know I'm supposed to be promoting, so I'm trying to do that. I am still practicing, trying to figure out a way out, but I don't know if I ever want a way out. I always want to have some cases because I think there's always a need. And my forte is really getting people to mediate and come to agreements, especially in divorces. There is no reason for a third party to be telling you what to do. And that's really my philosophy, and I work from that. So I'm really good at cooperating with people, with the other attorneys. I'm really good at convincing my clients to cooperate, which is always entertaining, even if I have to treat them like they're my children. That's what one client told me. I'm not your child. I said, yes, you are. Right now, you are my child. And they seem to be okay with that most of the time. I also try to do something a little different with custody. I will try to meet with the kids, but not in my office, never in my office. I will arrange with the parents to run into me at Fenton's. That's my favorite place to run into people. And then the parents go to the bathroom. I learned so much about the kids. I learned a whole lot about the kids. I'm 3 minutes. That was quick. I know. So I learned a lot about the kids, and then I'm able to really craft better agreements for the parents when I do. My biggest problem is opposing counsels, especially the new ones, because they're real aggressive now. They're very aggressive. But I figure out a way around them. I find out if they have kids, and then we start talking about their kids, and they're like, oh, I really like you. You're such a nice lady. Yeah, I am. Anyway, I'm a litigator, and I do family law litigation, so I don't have a problem going to court either. In fact, I love going to court. I don't like chasing my money, but I like going to court. Anyway, I think I'm at my 3 minutes. Thank you. So did I give you my badge?
Yeah. Thank you. And here's your blue badge, Casey. I forgot to give you your blue badge. So now it's my pleasure to bring John Protopopoulos, past president, up to the podium to introduce our speaker. John.
Thank you, President Shannon, Rotarians, and guests. Our speaker is Colin Behring. Colin is a third-generation real estate developer and proud product of a family with very deep Rotary roots. Colin's grandfather, Ken Behring, was a developer and known for developing Blackhawk Country Club, but also known for the Wheelchair Foundation, where he... And the Wheelchair Foundation, as many of you know, partnered with Rotarians around the globe to deliver thousands of wheelchairs, a tradition of service above self which continues today. Colin has had a decent career of his own, getting his start in Shanghai with Morgan Stanley Properties, spending a decade in China, master planning luxury residences and golf course communities. Now, back in the Bay Area, he founded Behring Capital, a real estate private equity firm that has developed, invested, or financed more than $1.2 billion worth of property, from the Silicon Valley to Sacramento, and now much of it right here in Oakland. This past year, Colin opened 1900 Broadway, a 39-story mixed-use tower rising directly above the BART station. And he followed it with the astonishing acquisition of the adjacent 20-story former Kaiser headquarters plus a 635-stall parking garage for just a little over $14 million. Together, these assets form the new 1900 campus, a 1.2 million square foot full stack real estate ecosystem that seamlessly integrates living, working, recreation, mobility, and even a private Tesla fleet. Colin Behring is redefining urban living while upholding Rotary ideals of innovation, integrity, and community service. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Colin Behring.
Hello, everybody. As one of the most wonderful introductions I've ever had, so thank you, John. But yeah, happy to be here. We are a neighbor at 1900 Broadway. It's a very large tower that you can see as soon as you get out onto the street, so happy to share and discuss what we've been up to, and it just so happens that in the back of that photo you can also see the Kaiser building right in the back, right where that mouse cursor is. And a lot of stories, a lot of hard work, and just like constant hustle to do something great. One thing leads to another, and all of a sudden we've got a very, very good presence here in downtown Oakland. But I'll just kind of take you through. It is a luxury residential mixed-use tower. It has everything from apartments. It has everything at the office side, where we've got turnkey built office space, HQ quality amenities and resort-style amenities, everything from fitness and the lounges, the event spaces, being able to host groups that are large, small. 1900 Broadway was purposed to build community, to get people in one place, to be in downtown Oakland, to activate the uptown core directly on a BART station. So, this tower today, besides just being a building that rents to tenants and hosts people, one of the biggest things it was supposed to do was to inspire other people about Oakland. Oakland, we're all here, we know the storylines, we see the news, we have to hear it from anybody that's not in Oakland. Everybody wants to talk about their version of what they think Oakland is, but as soon as they're at 1900 Broadway and they see the views and they experience Oakland and they get together with friends, family, and everybody in between, and they see Oakland from the site of 1900 Broadway, a lot of people leave with a different impression of what Oakland can be. And whether it's living there, whether it's the amenities and getting friends together and parties and events, or it's hosting your company, people can see 1900 Broadway and say, okay, now I get it. I get why 2017-18, Oakland had the fastest growing office rents in the world. I get why there was 10 towers under construction. COVID did a number on our city. That's just the truth of it. A couple other factors made it even more difficult. But one way or another, Oakland is beautiful. It's an amazing place, and we're just happy to be a small contribution in the uptown block. I do want to open it up to questions, but 1900 Broadway, obviously, large luxury glass tower downtown. The Kaiser building directly behind it ties in extremely nicely because that is office space that has a complete amenity and event center. It's got 635 bays of parking in a garage that's gated, secured, where we can invite people to come join us here in downtown Oakland, host, not have to worry about your car on the street, but experience the best of what Oakland is, and now at an entire campus. So whether you're hosting events, you're having your company here, you're living here, doing a bunch of things, like this campus is a place and a center of gravity in order to start those conversations as we move forward with this next cycle of what Oakland can be. We survived a very, very tough couple of years here, but we do believe that the bottom is in. Oakland is on the recovery, and there's a lot of great things to come. There's a lot of big groups and a lot of really, really important people that are talking about Oakland again and wanting to build things from the core, bringing people in, revitalizing our streets, getting retail filled up. We're getting phone calls about people wanting to start businesses on the ground floor. We didn't have that for a couple of years. 2024, the calls started. Now in the first quarter of 2025, we have more calls about moving companies in, moving in retail than we did in the last 4 years combined. So, just to try and share a little bit, like the momentum is here. It's coming. You're not seeing it in a built-out street front yet, but when people are calling thinking that the best time to ever cut a deal is right now, that means that it's starting. It's on its way. I will open it up for questions and all that kind of stuff. I know we don't have a ton of time, but I just want to converse with everybody, and I hope that was helpful.
Mac? I'm good, if you can hear me. No, the people online can't hear you. Thanks.
Use the online card, I see. Considering the project, first of all, thank you very much for your presentation. Considering the projected shortage for senior housing being about 370,000 housing units by 2030, 5 years from now, do you see opportunities for integrating senior living solutions into your mixed-use developments?
There's always opportunity, and there's definitely a demand. Like that, it's never been short. In California, my family also has done a whole lot of senior living, everything from active adult communities, 55 and over, all the way to your senior assisted living, full-time care, things like that, memory care, other items. And there's definitely a demand for all of it. For these integrated communities in an urban core and things like that, there's always going to be demand. It really right now, the thing that battles every product category is really the hard cost of construction. To build anything new right now is prohibitive, and that is just kind of a universal truth with trying to construct right now in a high inflationary environment. Construction is expensive. If construction is expensive, the needle to be able to profitably deliver anything like that that's sustainable, the key, like profit and sustainable should be viewed as the same. When somebody says, is it profitable, it's like, can you do it? Can you motivate all the parties involved to want to engage and want to enable this construction? Hard cost was the thing that will slow us down. It's not a matter of will, it's not a matter of desire or choice. It's like you just couldn't physically allocate capital to it from a group that, whether it's an investor base, a financier, a bank. Right now we need to catch up with construction costs or figure out how to do that much cheaper, whether it happens to be technology, other creative solutions and everything involved. Government grants and trying to yank free money out of some agency somewhere is not a permanent solution. So we need to figure out something sustainable. But yes, like for these communities, there's a place for senior living. In an urban core, it'd be even better because it's a vibrant place to live in a downtown where you have access to everything. But it's a matter of solving some of the sticks and bricks issues first.
David Stein has the mic. Then we'll give it to Tom. Oh, well.
I got it. All right.
David Stein.
I'll go. All right. So we were talking a little before the meeting about what you're doing in terms of public safety and the impact of public safety. Can you maybe talk a little bit about what you're doing in your project and in general about public safety?
Yeah, so all of us in the development community and anybody that's invested here in the physical property and has to experience Oakland on a street level, we all desire to do anything we can in order to improve public safety, and we are no exception. Having the resources for real estate, being able to host everything live, work, play, go, everything from residential to office to amenities, lifestyle, transit options. We're trying to make downtown Oakland very livable, affordable, and a complete solution for people to live and work in downtown Oakland. That includes first responders, wanting to get OPD, which is our police department, fire, EMTs, everybody involved to where they also will choose Oakland as the place that they want to live, work, and be present. Right now, it's assumed that in the city of Oakland, we might have 10% of city employees that actually live in Oakland. All of our tax dollars that goes to pay our city employees leaves every day at 5 o'clock. They take their money and they send it right out of Oakland. We are trying to assemble the right packages and the right incentives to get these employees and first responders and everybody to want to call Oakland home and to be here on our streets, living, working, and enjoying the entire city with everybody else, but it has a reciprocal impact. It has multipliers. It's an exponential benefit having everybody in the same place, working together, and whether it's crime, public health, and everything, it will benefit. It will get better. And there are other programs in place that are on their way that we're trying to discuss and put together where we're going to be able to put our resources to use for the city, whether it happens to be for first responders on fire, OPD, or otherwise. We're trying to provide space, technology, and funding to get major programs going to help with public safety. And that's kind of that public-private partnership and the incentive to want to do so. We are invested in the betterment of Oakland. We need to help make it happen, and we're doing that.
Thank you. I'm going to do one online really quick. Jenny Ring is asking, what is the status of the development at the Old Oakland Naval hospital site. All infrastructure is in, but no housing construction yet. Oh, that's another one.
Okay. I'm not actually familiar with the old naval site, so I would love to help. I just can't. So that's a quick question.
I have a question.
I can tell you we don't own the naval site.
Okay, there you go. You're a developer, you're just,
Right.
they just, you know everything. What's your favorite car?
Favorite car? Oh, my goodness.
Why am I asking that?
For the museum?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So Rotary has had a number of events at the museum, and so at the Black Hawk Auto Museum, which is unbelievable. Do you care about cars?
Cars, they're amazing. It's just, like my grandfather, he's a Depression-era guy. Yeah, he worked really hard. He was, went from trading used cars, putting them back together, to flipping old, broke-down apartment buildings, to eventually becoming a major developer. And when I, as a kid, would ask that question to Grandpa, what's your favorite car? Yeah, he would just grumble at you, and it's like, the last one I sold. And that's because he was scrambling that whole period of his life, just trying to put it all together. Like, you're just trying to make a living. You have 5 kids, and you're trying to figure it all out, and you're selling cars because that's the way you put food on the table. So you learned not to get too attached, because you'd love it, and you'd love it all the way to the point you could sell it. But he did have favorites, and the 36 Sousa is a tulip wood racer, made out of complete wood. It looks like almost a kit car, but it's beautiful. That was one that he chose to tell us after we pressed him 50 times, like, no, just tell us your favorite car. I don't want the whole backstory. Nice. Tell us your favorite car. That was his favorite.
Nice.
Sorry.
Before Tom gets the mic, or we have another question. How many of you have done a wheelchair distribution? Okay, we'll bring that back. You have another question. Here we go. Yes, please.
Hi, this question might be a little off script. My understanding is that you're kind of in the EB5 space,
Yep.
And that's a program for those of you that don't know. A person that's a foreign person can basically apply for a visa and invest in a real estate project and demonstrate job creation. And EB5 has been in the news a lot, and it's under a lot of duress. I was wondering if you had any insights on the future of EB5 and kind of your thoughts about the program since you're so close to it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, we're very close to it. I don't know, there's a million items to comment on that. EB5 and the financing program, which is a job creation and economic growth program. If you invest in the United States, you create 10 full-time jobs through your investment. You and your family are able to immigrate and become permanent residents. If you create jobs, you get to stay. Imagine that. If you invest a vast amount of capital, you have $800,000 and you create full-time jobs, we would like to have you in the U.S. It's not a new program. It's been around since the 1990s, 40 years in. It's not under duress. It was in the news recently because there was this idea of gold card from President Donald Trump. That's kind of brought in the idea of immigration investment and like the battle for like what's the best way to do this and everything else. The EB5 program is alive and well. It's got over probably 70,000 individuals right now that are participating in it. It's put together over $40 billion of economic growth with everything that is contributed in the last 40 years. A lot of it, construction. A lot of it is full-time jobs through design, architecture, engineering, construction itself, everything in between. There's a lot of big projects that have all been financed by EB5. You would know a lot of them. Everything from like the King Stadium in Sacramento, Hunters Point Shipyard, and a lot of that infrastructure and clean up the naval base. We've built probably 15 different multi-family student housing and or senior apartment buildings utilizing EB5 capital. We love construction because construction just translates into pure job creation for everyone. It's simple. But yeah, EB5 program's going well. It's had a renewal in 2022. It's going through to 2027 where there's some kind of reform or a extension. As of right now, it's just continuing as it goes. There's no change to the program.
Tom Lemon.
Hi, thank you, Colin. Before I had kids, I was a dragon boat racer for 15 years, and I traveled to China in 2004 and and 2009 to compete. And I toured all around China and went to Shanghai twice. And I was blown away that within those 5 years, how much Shanghai had changed.
Yep.
And how quickly people learned English and just adopted capitalism. What are some lessons learned from China that maybe you can apply here, or teach us, as opposed to infrastructure, public transportation, density, etc.?
There's no shortage of lessons to learn from that. I think one of the biggest gaps that you'd see really between, let's call it like an Oakland Bay Area and a Shanghai, is just to embrace density, to build. If you build a $5 billion metro station and you put a 4-story apartment building on it, really? Like, you spend $5 billion of public money to build a BART station and 50 people get to live there. China, where the developer, the landowner, the permitting agency, and probably the construction company are the same person. Imagine what they would decide to build if it's like, okay, well, I'm going to put a BART station here. I'm going to build whatever I want on top of it that makes the most sense for the greatest number of people with the greatest number of benefit. I'm going to put 10 towers on it. And that's what they did, everywhere. There's 4,000 high-rise buildings in city limits of Shanghai. I think we have 15, maybe. So just to embrace density and create that walkable neighborhood, that 15-minute city, and when you have that density, you know what's amazing about public safety? If you have, China has very, very little street issues in public safety, because there are 10 million eyeballs looking at you all the time. When you have that many people in every building, on every balcony, looking at everything you do, you tend to not do really stupid stuff. There's too many witnesses. Having people downtown makes it safer by itself. No police, no extra cameras, no extra motivation, just the sheer public looking at you will make you act better. So that density has this natural effect, and it's something that you notice in the lessons learned. Put lots of people in downtown Oakland, you'll naturally see that street conditions will just be different when you just have a lot of good people.
Thank you. Greg Knight is asking, any progress or bright spots in reducing regulatory hurdles to new construction? There's a small subject.
Well, regulatory hurdles for new construction, a lot of people in the property side, especially looking at Oakland, getting things entitled here works. Like, you can get things approved. Like, it's still kind of coming down to hard cost, the cost to build things. Timing, permits, and all of that stuff, like, yeah, they are challenges, but right now it's not the #1 impediment to what's going on. I am very interested in learning about how AI is going to be coming and working through our permit system, because our plan check and all of these processes in order to get a project to the point of construction is a set of rules. If you meet code, fire, life safety, elevators, exiting, all of these things are supposed to be rules. It's binary. You either meet code or you don't meet code. It shouldn't take 3 years to figure that out. So if you're able to remove all of that redundancy and make that checkbox election go or no go, yes or no, A or B, if it's a set of rules, there is no reason that it should not be automated and or fast. I don't want to say people should be removed from the process, but there is a major place in this world for AI to help us get more things built and approved and ready to go. So like I am a big fan of what that's doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have one more question.
Okay, sure. One more.
Hi there. Thank you, Colin. My name is Adrian. I just want to say thanks for presenting. We had the opportunity to see the tower with the Peralta Colleges Foundation your team hosted. And it was incredible to see Oakland at the vantage point. I've heard a few, you might have answered this question, but can you crystallize for me what are 2 or 3 ways that this community and the community of Oakland can partner with you so we can continue to catalyze impact and improvement in our city?
I think that the simple answer for that is, one, to to continue to evangelize the positivity of Oakland. So to be able to host in Oakland, bring your friends, family, and events, your companies, host them here. Host them anywhere. I would love for you to host all those events and all those people at 1900 Broadway or 1950 Franklin. We are dedicated to being that spot that you could bring people to and impress them with what Oakland is. To inspire people where they leave and they're like, no, I was just in Oakland and the place was great. It looked fantastic. Blue skies, green grass, huge views, saw the bay. Please show them the best sides of Oakland, and if there's people that are from out of town and like they are from San Francisco or anywhere else, they need to come back because we do have a different set of Oakland now that there's places to go and enjoy, and there's more places. There always was before, but now there's just a couple extra properties. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Colin, for your time. We love Oakland. We love Oakland, and we're going to bring light every day we can. Our speaker's gift is actually a donation. Rotary International has been working with other major organizations around the world for many years to end polio. And we are this close to ending polio off the face of the planet, so we're making a donation on your behalf. I want to thank you. The Wheelchair Foundation that is part of your family legacy is extremely a big place in my heart and in Rotary's heart. How many wheelchairs have been given away? Do you know approximately?
The last number I heard was pretty close to 1.2 million plus.
1.2 million wheelchairs have been donated. Bravo. So I gave out some wheelchairs in Hangzhou, in China, and we normally don't interact with communist countries, but we did anyway, and it was a great experience. And so I'm blessed by your family. Thank you very much. And with that, appreciate you coming. Can you say a little bit if people have some questions?
I can.
He's got to go, but we're going to make it quick, so don't hold him up too much. Okay. And what else do we have? We have tees up for next. Casey, are you going to tell us who's coming up for next week? Thanks, Colin.
Yeah.
All right, hope to see you next Thursday for a speaker from Planned Parenthood of Marmonte. There's a brand new facility right in downtown Oakland. It's the largest Planned Parenthood in the country, and so we're going to learn about it from Stephanie Dominguez-Walton, who's Director of Partnerships for Planned Parenthood in Marmonte. Thank you.
Thank you, more vibrancy for downtown. So with that, am I missing anything? What am I missing? Oh yes, new members, please go to the back so that you can have all of your new besties say hello and welcome you. And we'd also like a couple of pictures. Are there any bell ringers today? I see Gary Flaxman.
I'll ring the bell because I want Casey's self-introduction was great.
Casey, you're burning $100, $100 for the Oakland Rotary Endowment. Thank you, Gary. All right. I do. This meeting is adjourned.